Hey everyone, what's going on? I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but been kind of busy. I know that there's a lot of stuff that's happened since I made videos before, but something happened today that I really want to just talk about, make a brief video on the difference between the private market and the government, and how private companies could never get away with the stuff that the government does. So, as an example, so on Sunday, I ordered 3 things from Amazon, Amazon's website, and I'm an Amazon Prime member. And for those who don't know what that is, which if you don't, I'm surprised. But anyway, you get like free shipping and free music and all that other stuff. Well, anyway, so I order these 3 things, and when you're checking out, they give you the shipping options. Now, being an Amazon Prime member, I get free 2-day shipping on, thousands of stuff, thousands of items, lots of things that I buy every day. So on this particular day, now I live in the city I live in, there's an Amazon warehouse here in Arizona. So a lot of times when I order stuff, they'll offer me free 1-day shipping. It says, like on the checkout, it'll say free 2-day shipping, free 1-day shipping. It still gives you the standard options, but then it gives you the free 1-day, which normally you'd have to pay like, $30 or $20 or whatever it is. So I'm like, well, okay, well, if you're offering me free 2-day shipping and then free 1-day shipping, like who isn't going to pick free 1-day over free 2-day? I don't know. So of course I picked free 2-day shipping, or free 1-day shipping. And it said guaranteed to be there by 9 o'clock. So okay, cool. So, Monday comes, yesterday comes, I get home, I go out front, and there's a box from Amazon. And it's about 4 o'clock. And it was delivered really early in the day, so I'm like, sweet. I grab the box, I open up the box, and there's only 2 items in there. 2 out of the 3 items that I ordered. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Where's the other one? So I look at my email, and apparently, the thing that cracks me up is that the item that was missing was like an add-on item. And what that, for those who don't know what an add-on item is from Amazon, it's basically an item that, like, it's too expensive to ship on its own, so they'll throw it in with something else that you ordered. Like one time I ordered some protein powder, and I got a shaker cup. Now the shaker cup it costs more basically to like ship the cup than the cup actually costs. So they just included in the box. The protein powder I ordered was this big bag, so the bag was like 12 pounds. So again, that shaker cup weighs like nothing. They just throw it in the box with the protein powder and then they send it. That's an add-on item, and they have a ton of those. The funny part was the thing that's missing from my order was actually an add-on item. And I'm like, okay, so the reason it's an add-on item is because it costs more to ship on its own, yet you're shipping it on its own. Now, I might understand that because in this situation, I just found it funny that it's an add-on item that's being sent on its own. Now, in this situation, it kind of makes sense because since the facility is here in the same city that I live in, they're not necessarily using they don't have to pay the shipping. Now, of course, they still have to pay, the gas and all that stuff, but it's already on a truck with other things. You could go into like how much extra gas, but they're not basically shipping it across the country in its own box. So they're basically saving there. So I understand why they put it separately. It still was just kind of funny. But anyway, so I look at the email and it says, my 2 items were delivered, which they were, but the third one, it says out for delivery, guaranteed by 9 p.m. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And this was about, I think, but when I finally looked at the email, it was like 5 o'clock or something. So I'm like, okay, 5 o'clock, 4 hours. So I wait 4 hours, I watch TV, I do a bunch of other stuff. Well, it's like 7:30, and still nothing. Okay, I look at the shipping thing again. Again, it says still guaranteed by 9 o'clock. Okay. So 9 o'clock comes, nothing. 9:30, nothing. 10 o'clock, nothing. So finally I'm like, okay, so it's kind of like a pizza. when they used to have, get in 30 minutes or it's free. So I send an email to Amazon. I'm like, hey, I took a screenshot of my phone. I emailed it to them. I'm like, hey, I didn't get this. It's now 10 p.m. This is not here. What's your policy? I just wanted to know like what the policy is, because it's actually never happened to me. I've always gotten everything from Amazon on time, whether it's 2-day shipping or 1-day shipping or whatever. It's always come. So I really didn't know. So I emailed customer service. Well, so this morning I'm sitting in my truck before I go into work, and I'm looking at the internet, checking my email, and I see an email from Amazon customer service, and the lady's like, dear. I wish I had my phone with me. I would read it to you. But she basically said in the very beginning, the first paragraph was, dear valued customer, we're so sorry that your order didn't make it. We try our best at our estimated slash guaranteed delivery times. We send these out to third parties, and sometimes it's difficult. She's like, but it looks like according to the records that it'll definitely be there tomorrow. December the 8th. So, I could send you a replacement. It says, but the original one will probably be there before the replacement even gets there. So, we'd before filing any claims or anything, we'd appreciate it if you just waited till, December the 8th, which is today. So after reading this big long email, I sent her a response, and I said to her, well, so here's the problem. The first paragraph of your response confuses me. You said you try really hard at your estimated / guaranteed delivery time. I said, well, which one is it? Because it's either estimated or guaranteed. It can't be both. You can't estimate and guarantee at the same time. I said, so that's my problem. I said, I don't want a replacement. It has nothing to do with the product itself. Because I was talking about this with my wife, and she's like, well, you don't really need it right now. It's not like life or death. And I said, that's not the point. The point is, I was guaranteed something by 9 p.m., breach of contract, it was broken. What's the restitution? What's the payback? And so that's why I said to the lady, I'm like, it cannot be both. You cannot estimate it and guarantee it. Like, you can't say, well, we guarantee it there by 9, but if it's not there, well, we tried, we did our best. Okay, well, that's fine, but then you can't guarantee it either. So pick one. So I sent it, and then about 4 or 5 hours later, I was at lunch, and I'm reading my email again, and I get another email. Oh, and before let me just back up a second. So before I sent the email, I also included there, I'm like, hey, I love Amazon Prime. I usually don't have any problems, but I just want to know, like, is that your policy? Like, basically you have an oh well policy. Like, yes, I know we guaranteed it, but oh well. Like, shit happens, basically. I said, is that your policy? I would appreciate, like a $5 credit or something, to make up for, you breach a contract. Like, if I breach my contract, if I say I'm going to pay you, some money for this product, and then I, like, deduct it or something, I don't pay you, like, that's fraud. Like, I lied. But if you do it, it's like, oh, well, So anyway, so I sent the email, and I get a response from someone else, a different name, and this person writes back to me and says, dear valued customer, we really try, very hard to please you. I see you've been an Amazon, customer for a long time. You're a Prime member, blah, 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 blah. He said, I'd be more than happy to issue you a $5 credit for your Amazon account. So the next time you order something, you will see a credit on your account that you can use at checkout. And, please, our sincerest apologies. And it looks like your product should be there, today. I said, okay, that's good. I said, thanks, now I'm completely satisfied. Thanks for rectifying the situation. Have a nice day. So, which, by the way, the product still is not here. It is now 6:45, the day after the day it was supposed to be here. So in another 2 hours, it will officially be 24 hours late. Now, that's going to be another story. I checked the package, and it does say it's out for delivery. But it said that this morning, too. It said the same thing. And it left their facility at 7:30 in the morning, according to the scans. So that's the story of the Amazon. That was rectified. They acknowledged that they made a mistake. They offered restitution. Everyone's happy. Now, if I don't wind up getting the product tonight by 9 o'clock, I will definitely be writing them again. So now let me get to the other part with the government. Coincidentally, on Sunday, before I purchased these things, I actually got a letter in the mail from the IRS. Yeah, and now normally when you see a letter and it says Internal Revenue Service on it, normally it's not the kind of letter you jump up and down for and go, woohoo, yay! I got a letter from the IRS. So I open it, and as I'm opening it, I open it up, and I open up the envelope, and right inside of it, the way they have it folded, the first thing you see if you open it up from the back, it says, please include this slip with your payment. So I'm already thinking to myself, gee, I just heard a truck outside. That would be hilarious if that was the Amazon thing. Let me check. No, I'm on the second floor. I can't really see, but I just heard a UPS drive away, so that would be actually pretty funny that I'm making this video and then they deliver it. So anyway, so the IRS, it says please enclose your payment or the slip with your payment. So I'm like, what the hell? And I have backstory with the IRS. Like they're always coming after me for something. So, and I haven't gotten anything in a while. So I'm like, okay, I'm about due. I guess this is my payment, to the IRS. So I open up the letter and I start reading it, and to my surprise, it says, dear sir, our records indicate that you have overpaid your federal income tax for the year 2014. We owe you, it's like $126.25. And it said, please allow 6 to 8 weeks for you to receive your check, and then next to that it says, if you don't owe any other taxes. So this is what I find, this is kind of the point of this video. I just find it hysterical that, imagine if Amazon had a practice like this. So here the government is basically telling me that, hey, you overpaid your taxes. We've held this money for like almost a year because I file my taxes very early, usually in January, so here we are in December. So they're basically saying, hey, we're just letting you know. They didn't apologize. It doesn't say we're sorry, but it just says you overpaid. We have your money. You'll get it in 2 months if you don't owe anything else, and that's the letter. It doesn't say dear valued taxpayer, we're very sorry we collected $126 more than we should have. Please find the money enclosed. Like for some reason they couldn't just give me the check in the same letter. They couldn't say, please find the money enclosed, and as and it is an inconvenience to you, here's an extra $25, or here's a, coupon for like $100 off your taxes next year, or whatever the government can do, But again, I didn't get any kind of restitution for that. All I'm getting is my money back that they took from me and held for a year. No, not even an apology, not even we're sorry, mistakes happen. Like, yeah, I know the government, right? Yes, I know I'm going to hear comments like, well, of course the government wouldn't do that. Well, no, I know they wouldn't, but that's the point. Like, of course they wouldn't. That's the point. Imagine if Amazon did the same kind of thing. Imagine if they made mistakes like this all the time. They're like, we know you ordered that product. We know we said it was going to get there on December 7th. It's now, let's see, almost a year. So we know you ordered that product December 6th, 2015. We know today is like November 1st, 2016. We're very sorry, but hey, here's your product. Imagine if Amazon or any private business did something like that. No one would shop there if they did stuff like that. You can't operate a business that way, but yet when the government does it, it's like, oh, well, yeah, that's the government. What are you going to do? Yeah, that's exactly the problem. Like, that's why the government can get away with that kind of stuff, because they have a monopoly on those things. But it's just so funny when I read that letter. I'm like, yeah, now if I owed the IRS, let's say they sent me the opposite letter, and it said, dear so-and-so, our records indicate that you underpaid your 2014 income taxes, which I've gotten a letter like that before, but let's say it said you've underpaid your income taxes by $126. And in addition to the $126 you owe us, you also owe us penalties and interest because we could have used that money for X, Y, and Z or whatever. But yet I don't get any of that. I don't get, hey, government, you held my $126 for almost a year, so I could have used that for something else. Therefore, I'm entitled to, interest penalties that you held my money. I didn't authorize you to hold it. You just took it and held it, and now you're going to be giving it back in 2 months. You're just telling me now that you owe it to me, but I don't even get it. Like, that's like, again, that'd be like Amazon saying, look, yeah, we know you ordered that product last year. We know it's almost a year later, but it's coming. It'll be there in another 2 months, okay? So just kind of hold on. Even though we guaranteed that you'd get it a year ago, it's going to be there in 2 months, we guarantee that. I mean, what business could operate that way? None. No business could operate that way. It's ridiculous. So, and I've been sharing this story with a few other people, and it's so funny. Like when I was talking to my wife about it, again, like I said, most people are on my side, and it seems to be like even before I got that email last night, the people I was telling, or before I got the email this morning rather, I had sent the email and then I'm telling the story to people. Before I got that email, people were like, well, hey, sometimes things happen. Like you can't, I know it says they're going to be there by 9, but sometimes I'm like, you're missing the whole point. The point of this, of the argument, is not to say sometimes they can deliver it, sometimes they can't. I understand that. I know life happens. The point is, don't guarantee something if you can't fulfill the guarantee. If you know that your third party has a history of being late, then don't guarantee it. I assume that's why they do it so late. They guarantee it by 9 o'clock because a lot of people get deliveries and, it would be hard to do it by 5. But again, you cannot, they keep defending like the product. They're like, well, yeah, maybe if it was like, I don't know, whatever I would need like immediately. Like I said to my wife, I'm like, what if it was our son's birthday present? Like, what if you just told him all day that you ordered this thing for him and it's coming and it'll be here before he goes to bed, and then it doesn't show up? Are you going to be like, well, yeah, okay, well, I guess, life happens. But when it's my thing, it's different. And again, what I'm trying to explain to people is it has nothing to do with the product. It's about the contract. If you state you're going to do something in writing and somebody pays for that service, not doing so is fraud. Now, no, people aren't going to sue. I mean, I wouldn't sue them. Like now, if they just came back and were like total jerks and they're like, hey, screw you. I mean, you gave us your money. What are you going to do? Like, yeah, that would be a different story. But again, they sent me a bunch of emails apologizing. They even sent me a feedback thing. They're like, hey, did we help you? Are you satisfied? Do you want more? Like, do you want another free product or something? I'm like, no, that's fine. Your apology was good, and you gave me $5 credit. You didn't have to do that. I imagine they would have given me more if I would have asked for it, because that's the amount that I requested. I just said, you could do something like, give me a $5 credit, or, I already get free shipping, so I couldn't really ask for that. So that's basically it. I just found it funny how the differences between, government and the private sector. Like, private companies would never be able to get away with something like that. They'd never be able to just say, meh, well, they guarantee something at a store. They, well, not our stuff. Hey, buyer beware. Like, we don't guarantee anything, no returns, like nothing. And again, it's going to be the same thing. The same thing's going to happen at Christmas. All these stores online, and Amazon included, have all these, guaranteed to arrive by Christmas. Guaranteed to arrive by Christmas. Okay, awesome. A lot of people are going to be banking on that. Now, what happens when it doesn't come by Christmas? Are people just going to say, well, oh well, I paid for extra? Non-Amazon Prime members have to pay extra for what I'm talking about. So I'm imagining, now even though I didn't pay for it on this transaction, I paid for it basically for a year's worth of these transactions. So my membership gets that to me. But what if I paid extra without the membership? What if I paid $5 extra or $25 extra for the expedited shipping? they'd have to give me that back. I couldn't just pay for the extra shipping and say, well, you know. And that's what I want to say to these people. Like, okay, so if you paid for 1-day shipping and it didn't get there, are you just going to, and it was an extra $25, are you going to say, well, that's just $25, oh well. They sure, Amazon tried. I mean, they did. But, sometimes stuff happens. Of course not. You're going to demand your money back and everything. But when it's the government, when the IRS owes you money, it's kind of like them saying, hey, look, yeah, we know we owe you money. Take it easy. We'll give it to you when we get it to you, okay? And not a minute sooner. If, we're going to comb through your records, make sure you don't owe anything for the last 30 years you've been filing taxes. And if you don't, then we might send you that money back if it doesn't get lost or applied to something else. Maybe you owe some student loans. Maybe you defaulted on some stuff. Who knows? We're going to check. We're going to run through it with a fine-tooth comb. And if, and only if, you don't owe us anything, then we'll give you the money back. Again, private company could never do that. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Leave me any comments below that you want. Let me know if you agree with me. Do you disagree with me? Let me hear what your opinion is. I'm definitely going to try to make more of these videos. I've really been thinking about it. I know I haven't, made it. I'm trying to get a podcast going up there. I have crazy stories like this all the time. I just forget to come up here and record stuff. So let me know what you think. Comments. You can email me, defendingfreedomandliberty@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, defendfreedom76. And I am on Facebook, but I don't really ever go on there. Just Twitter and email. All right. Thanks, guys.